The following episode of the Comics and Crypto podcast is for informational purposes only, and anything expressed by the hosts or their guests is solely their opinion. This podcast does not constitute financial advice, and anyone wishing to invest should seek their own independent financial or professional help. Have fun and enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Sean O'Hare, and I know comics.
Hi, I'm Spencer Vogel, and I know crypto.
Hi, I'm Kevin Lee Loader, and I don't know shit. This is the Comics and Crypto podcast.
Comics and crypto, crypto and comics, collectors world in a digital age. Comics and crypto, crypto and comics is where the next billionaires will be made. It's comics and crypto.
What is up, baby fam? Thanks so much for joining today. Very excited about today's episode. We are joined by two amazing guests. Kelly McClain, Senior Consignment Manager from HAKE'S Auctions. What's up, Kelly?
Hey, everybody. Hey, guys. How's it going?
And of course, About Crypto. What's up,
Hey, everybody. Yeah.
And today we're going to be talking about the top 10 items that are currently in auction. Starting number 10 is a piece that speaks to my heart. Tales of Suspense 39, a CGC 4.5. This is the first appearance of Iron Man. This is a 100% a Grail comic. So for this current grade, the 1 year average for 4.5 is $15,665. The most recent public sale was back in July of 2022, and it sold for $14,991 on HAKE'S.
Yeah, we had one recently, and our estimate's 10 to 20,000, we think. We think it's going to land right in there. It's a copy to have. I think we had this on display at New York Comic Con recently. It will be at Baltimore Comic Con this weekend. I'll miss you guys. You guys were my con buddies, but we'll be at Baltimore this weekend. Unless you guys want to come out, we can maybe give you a place to stay. We'll see. Yeah, we had this one on display there. It'll look great in your shelf.
Yeah, thank you for that invitation. I wish it wasn't Halloween weekend. I hope you up to it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's going to be a fun con. I just thought it's going to be like a double cosplay for multiple reasons. That's right.
Oh, this could be epic. Yeah. So what's really fun about this comic, and a lot of people probably in the community are familiar, if it hasn't dropped on Vivi yet, but this, in my opinion, is a top 10 comic all time on Marvel. All time.
Oh yeah.
Easily. Yeah. I mean, this is one of the biggest grails in history, and actually in its highest grade, there's only one 9.8 grade on the CGC census, and it's never sold. It's truly a one of one, never been sold, and I personally estimate that this comic would sell for over $2 million if it ever hit auction, and this is during a bear market. So it's very
where is that copy? I'd like to have it. I want it in my auction. Let's get it out of the woodwork.
Yeah. Let's raise that ceiling. Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is one of many comics that we have. We're going to talk about today and then future podcasts. It's an auction loaded of comics.
Coming in number 9, Return of the Jedi, Princess Leia, Stormtrooper card. This is something I'm actually not really familiar with, so I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts on.
So this was a showstopper. Speaking of New York Comic Con, and anywhere, this elusive yet a sort of just very famous miscard. So what happened here was Leia has a pink poncho, as you can see, and she's on the wrong card. She's on the Imperial Snowtrooper card. It was a test piece. They were working out the fabric or the color, or they were in the middle of the pre-production stage. They put her on a card to test it out, whichever part of the process this was, to see how it would go in the card before they even figured out the coloring of her poncho, which eventually became camo. We all know that from the production piece, but being the pink poncho Leia, even if you find a loose one, which they're all prototypes, they're considered a grail in someone's collection, but when you find one that's carded, and this was actually found, you can see there's a price sticker on it. So this made it from someone's desk at Kenner all the way back to inventory, and then out to a store, into someone's hands. They purchased it, and now, through the years, it was never lost or destroyed. There may be 2 or 3 other examples known, carded, period. Another one does have the same price sticker on it. So I think a handful may have gone to this one store, and now it's up for auction. It was, I think, Jason will tell you how many people at New York Comic Con stopped just to stare at that and say, what is like, they actually stop in their tracks. They look across the showcase and they see that everything stopped. And there's something special and different about this piece. The extensive, nearly 300 lot Star Wars section we have, this is one of my favorite pieces that we have. There's ongoing reports and stories on the internet of how elusive it is. So it's a great piece.
There were a lot of Star Wars collectors and experts that stopped by, and they were like, what is going on with that one?
Yeah.
And it was so cool to see. And a lot of folks were very interested in bidding on that one.
We've had other missed cards at auction. We've never had this one, and I've never seen one of these ever go to auction.
Has there ever been a previous sale of this?
No, not publicly. I can't think of any of them privately because they're so rare that any that exist have just moved hands privately.
Oh my gosh, there's no public sale.
No, no metrics, nothing you can compare it to.
Right now.
So up to now, I'll let the auction went live today, or it went live, on Tuesday the 25th, and there's bids that are coming in.
That's incredible, and we're seeing an estimate of 20 to 35,000 for this.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see where this one ends up. On one-of-a-kind pieces, it is difficult to give an estimate. We do. I have people that I reach out to and discuss this with just to see where the market might be. But this is a coveted piece. As we've seen.
So coming at number 8, a Halo Special Edition VGA 85 green console. So Jason, what are your thoughts on this one?
Xbox generally has lagged a little bit in overall collectability, with the exception of their high IP items. And a lot of their high IP items have gone through the roof lately. The Xbox wasn't, yes, it's factory sealed, but there's no protection on that. So it's literally just the box and the elements.
Right. And it's sealed. Never used to have something graded by VGA. It has to be a sealed example.
All of the Halo stuff is just incredibly coveted. It's really tough to get consoles in this kind of a condition. And then also it's a super high IP. If you look at all of the Halo items across the board, even the Halo figures are now starting to go, to really be priced nicely. I think this one can definitely go all of the estimate, and you get a couple Halo folks that want to add this piece to their collection. I think it'll do really well.
When you think Xbox, you think Halo. Do you remember know the value of a decent grade, first release game is these days?
The highest grades exceeded $100,000.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, and there are more copies of that than there are of this console, I would imagine, and especially graded examples. VGA does a great job grading and casing these consoles, even with their massive size and weight. It presents really well in that case with their label. The value of this is 10 to 20,000.
Wow. We're very excited to see how this one turns out. Number 7, an original Nintendo NES Contra. Wow, that's awesome.
So Contra is, if you're from the NES, original Nintendo era, Contra is one of the high IP, incredibly nostalgic video games. Anybody who played video games during that time frame, all you have to do is say up to them, and they will rattle off the rest of the Konami code. Contra made that popular. And actually, you can use that same code with many of Konami's games to get some kind of bonuses, etc. Generally speaking, bonus lives or health or something like that. From a collectible standpoint, it is definitely a must-have. If you're an NES collector, it's a must-have. This one is in amazing condition, can be a grail in your collection if you're able to pluck this one.
In condition, I mean, I'm sure, Sean, you've done a lot with buying comics. I mean, you condition after a while, your eyes can't not see it. Once you get into the sense of seeing condition, you can't turn that off. Yeah.
It's funny you say that, because every time I go into a comic shop and I'll buy some modern comics that are just up on the stands, I will check everything about that comic to make sure it's as close to a 9.8 as possible. Whether or not, even if I know I'm just going to enjoy it and just read it, like this comic, Sean, disconnect. You just can enjoy and read this one. Like, stop it.
Yeah,
Not a
no.
good condition that way now. So that's your point, 100%. 100%.
Yeah. An 85 Contra from 88 is a very high grade. So the estimate is, we said, was 20 to 35,000 on that. Is that right? Yeah. Right. It should definitely land in there for sure.
So coming at number 6, Pinocchio Cartier bracelet. Wow.
This is such a spectacular special Disney collectible. In 1940, Pinocchio came out and Cartier made these very limited, very exclusive, and it was very different at the time for a jewelry company as prestigious as Cartier to make something for Disney or Pinocchio. But they went out on a limb and they did this, and with that have created just beautiful 14 karat gold enameled charm bracelets. Just really gorgeous piece. These have gone for auction, $40,000, $60,000 in the past.
That's incredible. And it looks like this exact sample was sold back in 2020 through Christie's auction for $42,500.
Yeah, the estimate of this one is $35,000 to $50,000. A great section of gold, silver, platinum, and palladium Disney coins, all graded by NGC and other companies in this auction as well, including a very limited, very rare 1 of 28 gold kilo Steamboat Willie. And go to our website, HAKE'S.com. Check that piece out. That's another great Disney piece.
Steamboat Willie, that's us.
Yeah. Yeah, Steamboat Willie. Limited to 28. And if you can tell me why, say it in the comments. Why it's limited to 28. Yeah.
I know why.
You know what? Well, anyway, we'll let them. Is that all right? We'll let
Yeah.
You grab that number?
Yeah, this Cartier bracelet is very special. We've been selling Disney for a very long time. I mean, since the 1970s, we've been selling Disney items, and this is the first time we've ever been able to offer one of these. So it's a very special piece.
Coming in at number 5, Transformers Series 1 Optimus Prime, AFA grade 80 year mid.
Optimus Prime is, I think, the coolest. I played with this toy as a kid. I don't know if you guys did, if you had Transformers, if you had Megatron, which you also have in the auction, if you had Starscream, if you had Optimus Prime. This is the first sealed in box. We're talking about sealed examples. I mean, these were expensive in the day to buy. All Transformers were very expensive to buy. For them, compared to other action figures or other toys of their era, they do not come up sealed, especially in a sealed at AFA 80 with a $10,000 to $20,000 estimate. I think this will land right in there.
Look at how popular Transformers are now. Having a G1 in your collection, OG of Transformers too.
Yeah, it's Optimus Prime.
I just went to Universal Studios and I rode the Transformers ride. Jason, man, yeah, AR is going to be an incredible ride for Transformers.
Oh,
Man, I cannot wait.
It's going to be super fun to see what they can develop with Transformers. And just so you know, Kelly, if you want to get the FA Transformers on the blockchain, that was from Wax, and they did a Funko physical digital counterpart. So you can get a physical Funko and the NFT, which actually looks absolutely amazing. I personally am not actually a huge Transformers fan, but I was blown away, and I actually bought a couple because of that reason. But very excited for this collectible. It's currently on auction, so put your bids in now. Coming in number 4.
Yoda talking prototype, AFA 80. Star Wars prototypes, you think Rocket Firing Boba Fett, you think this Yoda talking prototype, you think other first shots. You get, the other quintessential piece we have, the pink Poncho Leia. The Yoda talking prototype, there are few know they were going to make a talking doll. So they, through all the stages of production, there are other examples out there that have the actual talking mechanism. This one does not, but it is one of the more complete examples known. Its estimate is $50,000 to $75,000 for how impressive this piece looks, especially now that it's AFA graded. They did an amazing job with the rails in this case. It's close to life size. It's noted on the bottom by the actual person who made it, which I think is even cooler. Look at all the photos we have on our website. This is one not to be missed.
When we talk about rare pieces and why grading, this is a really, really good example of why getting this slabbed and graded. these one-of-one, ultra-rare pieces that come up, you want them to be authenticated. You want them to be preserved. You want them to be protected. I know there's a large portion of the community that, says, hey, you should play with your toys, or you should play with your, video games and all that good stuff. But at the same time, there is a historical perspective out there. And some of these pieces you want to preserve, and you want to preserve them, and you want to display them, and you want to have them authenticated. And that's one of the things that I love about these grading companies that are grading comics and cards and coins and video games and toys. It allows for the preservation of these items, the authentication of these items, and it allows you to display them. I mean, they become, some of these items are, they look like museum pieces, so they're really cool.
It's one of the more complete examples to ever come up.
It looks like a museum piece, but it actually is a museum piece. Because it's one of one.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about this particular item. It actually really, truly is a museum piece, and it belongs in a museum. So sorry, Indiana Jones, it's going to go to the highest bidder.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, it will. Absolutely.
Coming in number 3, speaking of my heart, Journey into Mystery 83, CGC 5.5, the first appearance of Thor. This comic is a grail. So this comic actually hasn't dropped yet on VV, and people are asking about it. We usually, what's been interesting on the VV platform, they've been dropping comic books that are connected to a lot of the shows or some of the characters that are being reoccurring in the MCU. So we thought we were going to see this comic drop with Thor Love and Thunder, but we didn't actually see it drop. So fingers crossed it comes in the very near future, but this comic is an absolute grail. So the 1-year average for a 5.5 grade is $21,990. And the most recent sale went for $20,400 on eBay, and that was in May of 2022. And its highest grade, there's only one 9.6. Only one 9.6, there's no 9.8s. And again, this is a comic that would sell probably $2 million plus in its highest grade.
Yes, I think so. This is that 9.6 has never sold, you're saying?
Never sold.
Never sold.
Publicly.
Yeah. That is it's in the collection. Whenever that does come out, that's going to be epic. And the estimate of 10 to 20,000 is very conservative. So
make sure to get your bids in for this one, because this is going to end in 3 weeks. And man, whoever gets this one, congratulations. Coming in at number 2, Nintendo Smash Brothers, VFA of Smash Brothers on Nintendo 64. So cool.
VGA 85. Go, Jason.
So Nintendo revolutionized the video game industry. Nintendo 64 was, took the next step. It's arguably one of the biggest IPs on the planet. This one has actually done extremely well at auction in the past. I think whoever does get this one at this time is going to be getting a really good deal based on, just macroeconomics and, kind of where pricing is currently. Long term, it's an excellent piece to have.
Absolutely. One of the most important things that we also talk about for investing into something specific, you got to look at popularity and relevancy. Those are so important. And there's no character probably more popular or relevant than Mario. He is the foundation of Nintendo. He has his own movie coming out in the next 6 to 12 months. And they're also building an entire area dedicated to Nintendo and Mario and Universal Studios. So we know this character's here for a long time. This is one of the true OGs of the classic games. And man, he really can't do much better. I mean, this is Super Smash Brothers. It's one of the most significant games ever released by Nintendo, and they're still releasing new versions today.
Estimate on this one, $35,000 to $50,000.
Whoo!
This is a VGA 85. I mean, again, back with the VGA 85, that is a serious near mid plus grade that is not easy to come by.
If I could just go back in time and tell younger Sean not to open these games.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
I actually remember going to Costco and Nintendo 64 Zelda, and I had purchased a few of them thinking, and this is honest to goodness exactly what I thought. My thoughts were, I wonder if anybody will ever collect these in the future. And Costco super clearance, they were only like $24.99. And that's actually, to be honest with you, how I received most of my video game collection.
So Jason is the guy that you saying that you wish you were, Sean. Is that right? He was doing this and you wish you were that person. Number one, this is the if you get the auction catalog, or you want the auction catalog, or you see any of our promotion, you're going to see this guy on the front cover. This is the double telescoping Ben Kenobi action figure on the 12A card. Now, he only came with a 12A card. 12A means first release of the 12-back Star Wars card. And this was the first release of this particular figure with the double telescoping saber. Saber comes out twice, hence double telescoping. If you love Star Wars toys, I love Star Wars toys, you know what a double telescoping figure is. You know what a double telescoping Ben, Vader, Luke, you know that that is a grail of an item. When it comes to production figures, this is got to be one of the rarest, if not the rarest and most coveted. There are only 12 examples graded by AFA. This is just one of those 12. We've only sold 2 other examples on the card in the past of Ben. To put that into retrospect or comparison to, say, the rocket firing Boba Fett prototype, we've sold 8 different rocket firing Boba Fett, and we hold the world record price for that. We've only sold 2 double telescoping Ben. I could not say more about this figure, how important it is. It's an AFA 75. It's unpunched. It's beautiful on the card. Again, another showstopper at New York Comic Con. I think I even saw you looking at it, thinking it might fit well on your shelf, Sean, or was that not maybe on your shelf? Or
I even added a little BB NFT lightsaber and AR.
Yes.
On that thing.
Yeah, that was pretty
That was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. Speaking of a museum piece, again,
Oh yeah, museum, like it belongs at the center of any major, and I would even say Star Wars collection, any major collection. If you are a collector and you want to have the best pieces of any pop culture or collecting category, this is it. This has got to be in your collection, because I mean, we've only sold 2 in all the years we've been selling Star Wars. That this is only the 3rd example that one may not come up for 10, 15 years or longer. With so few that are out there, very few things are as rare. And as far as value, we have an estimate of $100,000 to $200,000 on this. We'll definitely get within that estimate. And some of you guys are trying to tell me it's going to be more, and it very well could.
That's incredible. Well, make sure to stop by HAKE'S Auctions to check out these auctions going on right now. They're all currently on the market, and it ends November
16th. It ends November 16th at HAKE'S.com, HAKES.com.
And make sure to follow HAKE'S Auctions on Twitter and About Crypto. I'll make sure to include the links down below in the details. And thanks for stopping by, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.